Beautiful. Mr. Patrick McGuire, thank you very much for being here with us today at Modern Revenue Architects. Patrick McGuire from Empowered Entrepreneur. Not only one brand, but many. And I would like you to take the floor and let us know about your story, which is the most important thing today.
For sure. I appreciate it, Luis. I'm really looking forward to this with the Modern Architect. You know, that title is almost perfect. The Modern Architect is really what's happening today. Everybody could be a go-to-market engineer if they just put their knowledge and applied what they really wanted and used a little bit of AI. And that's something that I do a lot of myself personally. But for general knowledge for people, I am Patrick McGuire. I'm the Empowered Entrepreneur. Empowered.ca. I have a portfolio of companies that I represent in different capacities, from startup coaching, mentoring, and advisory, consulting, if you will, as well as go-to-market strategies as a fractional chief revenue officer, chief marketing officer. And oftentimes, as Luis and I talked to before, was that it usually means fundraising as well. So I have quite a network in fundraising. I'm a multiple-time founder. I've had several exits that are good, some not so good, but I learned from every single one. And I've learned that AI can really help make us better if we use it right.
That's amazing. And if you were to change anything before on the exits that you had, do you think something happened differently if you had AI at that time, or no?
I think maybe it would have. I would, even going back to something that was around 2009, 2010, documenting and detailing things is so much easier to come up with a very well documented structure of partnerships and agreements. Due diligence is a much easier now because you can really ask AI, like just even with something as simple as ChatGPT. And I hate to call it one, but I mean, you could use any one of them, whether it's Open or Perplexity, and they all have benefits. Grok is very specific and analytical, like it's no emotions. No matter what you use, you could find the pains, the problems, you can find the impacts or anything that's a red flag in data review very, very quickly. In fact, I recently did that with one of my deals that came to me, an opportunity, a term sheet. And I said, hey, this is what's expected. This is what we agreed to. Am I getting this on this, this, and that? And identify any red flags. And even as easy as ChatGPT, it came up with all those results. So would I have loved to have that back when I was an early entrepreneur 30 years ago or so, in my partnerships and contract negotiations with our vendors and acquirers? Absolutely. Would have had better go-to-market strategies? Probably. Would I have done better copywriting or done it faster? Maybe. Absolutely. But I would say that for anyone listening today, although we're talking about AI and the Modern Architect, I would say this. The reality is we're humans and we're still in the mix. And it takes a brilliant founder, a brilliant startup specialist, a brilliant negotiator to actually do those things to make them work. Because bottom line is, people do business with people.
Yes. And I'm going to say this again, and I think one constant thing that I've been repeating in every single episode is the outputs are as good as the inputs on the AI. So when let's say if you let's say Patrick McGuire's brain matured in a way on his career for good, obviously. So whatever he cooks in the AI as an input is going to be tremendously more powerful than someone that doesn't have that kind of leverage in terms of the experience or prior experience. So I think it is helping us tremendously with all the things that we have to do day to day. And yes, we can upload a data sheet to organize whatever, but I think it goes to save us time in which we apply the knowledge that we learned prior to all the years of the entrepreneur that you're in today, right?
Yeah, I'm constantly doing it. I mean, even today I set up 2 very unique prompt conversations, and with specific outcome. One was a very specific outcome. In fact, it was the one that I was really targeting, that I really wanted to spend time on. Spent more time detailing what was involved, what was the expected outcomes, the things that I needed, the data, the fields, the everything. And the goal outcome was actually, and I don't mind sharing this in this conversation because I am raising capital for a lot of different opportunities. And I have many that come in and they throw these ideas at me, but they're not well organized and they're all organized differently. That makes sense for those founders. I need to be able to pull it in, make good sense of it, get a teaser as to what the bullets are within, 6 or 7 bullets in one paragraph, and then get a one pager that I'm going to share with my funding network. My fund manager doesn't want to have to switch their thought process to review each deal to kind of understand their communication style. So I spent a lot of time creating one prompt that specifically gave me an outcome to create a new opportunity intake form. And it created the Bolt format for me. So I just got to copy and paste and put in a Bolt and then test it out maybe later tonight. But if we had those thinking opportunities earlier, and I spent more time when I was younger coming up with better outcomes or desired outcomes, and I had somebody, an engineer, if you will, which chat can be your engineer. If it did that job for me, we'd be so much further ahead and so much better as humans. That's what I think.
Yeah, exactly. And in that sense, even if you were to ask ChatGPT, hey, come up with an amazing idea for me to be a billionaire, like that's not gonna happen. Like you have to craft, like you had a spark, you had a bulb moment, like a light bulb moment, that was your input for the AI, and then you are going to vibe code it, which you're going to transfer it to an interface for a human to consume in a micro SaaS or whatever model, and that's the value. So you are manipulating the AI in a way to take advantage of it in a super fast perspective. Where before, imagine building a POC with this that you're describing, like having an engineer, hey, build me this, whatever. It's going to take like 2 months to have your POC built, like for you to test.
Absolutely. And I've got lots of scenarios like that. In fact, just recently I was at Code Launch Toronto, and there's Code Launch Latam going on right now, and Code Launch USA is going to be in Texas in another month or so. They're really amazing. They do something awesome for startups. They take them from an application with an idea, could be on a napkin for all we know, to in 12 weeks, they have an MVP. And that's shockingly, as you know from history of coding here, that's shockingly fast from an idea to an MVP in 12 weeks. Well, we know that with AI, it can be done even faster. And that is very, very, very exciting when you think of it that way. The other one too is, my wife, she has a company called truetallow.ca, shameless plug here. I don't care. I'll say it. But the reality is she's not a coder or engineer by any means, but because we in the house use it so often, and she knows everything going on in all my businesses and all the portfolios that I manage and work with and all the startups, we're around this young culture that thinks this way. She's going into GPT. She's saying, what about this? Or what could I do for this? Like a whole new spin on shipping to track the shipping coming in, going out, and to motivate somebody to make a better purchase, a wiser purchase. Reality, spending just a little, maybe spending a little more money to get the free shipping. And she's taking that code right out of GPT and putting it into the website. And they're telling us, because I don't have time to do websites anymore, telling her exactly where to put it inside of what we use Optimized Press on WordPress. She's now a coder and developer and doesn't even know it. And that's what's amazing about the human engaged interface with AI.
And vibe coding, like how long that thing has been? I think it's months. I don't think we have been vibe coding for even a year. And there's bold, there's lovable, there's this and that. So imagine what's going to happen in a few months or maybe a year from now on this term, on this the fact that you can now generate from idea to inception to clickable to calculations to inputs and outputs, it's going to be game changer. And I was going to ask you, which one is your favorite, just in
I don't know, actually. I find myself often using ChatGPT and Bolt.
Okay.
That's where I mostly play with right now. But there's so many others. I mean, like, think of a marketing automation. Marketing automation, you could use something like, and I've got it up top where on my other screen, makeUgc.ai. I know you got to pay for it, but let's get real. You can create AI outputs with user-generated content and not actually do anything. Shocking.
Yeah.
Or HeyGen. HeyGen does a very similar concept, and they have AI avatars that are promoting your product, your consulting, your service, whatever it is, and they're fully voiced over, fully video, looks like a human. We don't have that fuzzy latency, pixelated Pac-Man look anymore. It looks like us.
Yeah.
Or even going to others like Grok, pretty powerful, I think, but it's very regimented. Like, there's no emotions. If you said, how do we take over the world? It doesn't care if humans die. It'll here's how you take over the world. Because that's just what it is. And then you've got Perplexity, which is real sort of analytical, this is my opinion, analytical thought processing, engaging type information. Then you can go to the DeepSeeks. I've played with DeepSeek a lot. I do like it. I think I just keep getting drawn back to ChatGPT because the more you put in to whatever AI platform or chat platform, I shouldn't even call it an AI platform. It's a chat platform, but it is AI. The more you put in, at least this is my opinion. I know you know this intimately. You know it better than I do. But the more you put in, the more it gets to know your style. It gets to know what information, and it even will refer back to a previous chat and pull it into a new chat at times, which is pretty cool to get you a better output.
Yeah.
So that's just me. I do resort back to ChatGPT and Bolt quite often.
Nice. I love it. And in the Make UGC, I'm testing it right now. So we launch ads on it and we are getting leads with it. So it works. So if
we're gonna have to collaborate. I want to hear what.
Oh yeah. Doing. Yeah, absolutely. I'll give you all the numbers. So yeah, it is legit. So it renders the video. So you can choose a person. You can put in software. It's crazy. The only thing is that you get 5 videos per. So if there's like 3 tiers or whatever on the first tier, I think it's $50. You get 5 videos that you can render, and then if you want to have a 6th one or whatever, you have to buy the next. But it is a fast. So that takes us to the same concept in terms of marketing, the fast production of a video for an ad, with all the principles of the best working videos that have performed well in their database. So it's not that you're coming up with whatever. So they come up with scripts that are supposed to be the ones that are the most
they got their winners or
engage.
something.
Yeah, exactly. So that's that. And not only the first, obviously, like everything, the first thing that you do might not be the best output. So you have to be iterating and then running A/B testing on your side. And then, so again, my brain, when I see one of this, and then we put it in, and we have the data from the ads of the one that I use on the Make UGC, gives me an idea. Okay, what if we change it here, there, but it fast tracked for me as an expert in the space, in the area, to be able to quickly manufacture one of these ads, to be able to get that data fast back, which is the most important thing for us, right? Like we don't want to be spending 2 weeks to get let's build this, let's record, let's schedule location, whatever. You don't want to do that.
That's actually one of my biggest personal burdens. I've done a lot of shorts, a lot of videos, and in fact, even when I do finally sit down to record them, I get them loaded up either on the phone or on the laptop or any other camera that I'm using. And then it's about chopping them up and sort of fine tuning them, or even heck, if I do it on the phone, just remembering to upload it to YouTube and add the comments, the actual content language over top, the transcript, you just got to do it. And sometimes if you don't just do it in the moment, you kind of forget about it. And that's why I do like these tools that are out there. Is here's my idea, I want this output, and it goes, here's the output, and you go, great, upload that. Or if you write a script using something, you could write it with AI to automatically upload it to a certain platform once it's dumped into a folder, and you don't have to touch it.
Yeah. And I'll give you a good one that occurred to me now that you're saying that. Imagine if you had a light bulb moment where you think that, oh, I need to launch this product, or I need to launch this campaign, whatever. You can make it happen before even the product exists. So if you launch, let's say you go to one of these platforms, you generate your ad, you put in the work of just, or maybe, what do you want, like maybe 40 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever, from scripting the thing, downloading it, uploading it to the ad manager on Facebook, and then running 2-3 days. In 1 week, you have one sprint of, does this work? And if you get leads, you build the thing. If you don't get leads, then you know that the idea that you had might not be as good or whatever. But this is a way to also allocate space on our brains to what matters, because we might be dragging for months. Oh, I want to build this thing. I want to do this. I want to do this. You never do it. But maybe it was not a good idea, or maybe it was the best idea, and you just validate it super quick, putting it in front of people. And if they are baiting on your campaign, that means that you have something to put your time in. Yeah. Some people also, they have an idea, they build it for months, and they are, oh my God, they're like three months, and then they build a freaking website with 50 pages and what have you, and then they figure that it was not a good idea, and they have to change a bunch of things.
They spend tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes investors' money, right? And they go, oh yeah, we're going to pivot. And the investors look at them and go, what? That's not what we invested in. Well, we're not sure. Or the imposter syndrome sets in for a lot of founders, right? I'm obviously involved with a lot of founders who are developing new companies, new products all the time, but they get imposter syndrome. I've had it multiple times where I'm in a new category, but I know the business model. I know the GTMs. I know the hooks. I know all that stuff. I know the automations. And it's a slightly new space. And sometimes I will spend all my time trying to troubleshoot and protect myself, trying to put a big, armor around myself, that it gets to the point that we kind of go, that was a mistake. Why would we do that? Or we don't launch. That's a problem. And now in this creator economy / AI enhanced human economy, we are in the, I would strongly say it, we're in, like, I'm an ex-military guy, so we're in battle mode now. Everything we need to do has to have a very quick game plan, a very quick offensive strategy, and go. You're deployed. Not this long drawn out, wait and see, maybe think, can we bulletproof it? I'd rather now see in this new AI enhanced world that we come up with an idea, we flush it out real quick, spend an entire morning flushing it out and having ChatGPT and something else just hammer you with questions back and forth, and then say, great, now put that into web page, put that into Bolt, put that into whatever prompt that I need. And you deploy. Take a few bullets, take a round in the shoulder or the chest. But at least, like you said, Luis, is you get responses within days or weeks, and they validate your product. And for me, being in the funder side of the world and fundraising, a lot of my stuff is in that category, helping companies with the go-to-market strategy, whether it's the product launch or the marketing, GTM, whatever it is, or whether it's specifically raising capital. I tell them all the time now, you don't have a fundraising problem. You have a client problem, a revenue problem. And in this world, if we can deploy using AI enhanced humans, that's what I think of it as, we deploy better products, we do it faster, and we get user feedback and or subscribers either in beta for free or beta paid or actual paid members, I can tell my clients to go to the investors and say, hey, we want this for this. Here's the pains, the problems, the impacts, the ideal outcomes, the solutions. Here's the team. Here's the timeline. Join us, right? And they ask for $1 million in return for 10% equity or something, right? And the investors will oftentimes say, well, why should I give you money? Well, they're right. But if you say, I have all the things that Patrick just outlined, and I have 1,000 subscribed free users and 500 paid users, you as a founder now have all the leverage, and you can go to battle against the most savvy investor in the world, because your product, as Luis, you said, it's validated in weeks, it's live, it's got paid subscriptions. You now have leverage. You can use AI to make it better. You can use AI to come up with all the investor questions, by the way, for anyone listening. AI can actually practice interview you if you do it right, and you'll be able to crush any fundraising event that you ever schedule.
Yeah, that's a good one. I love it. Thank you, Pat. And for, let's say, so we're speaking AI in this in this meeting, on this interview quite a lot, and I love it. What is your take in someone that is on the fence? Let's say there's a B2B founder that has been in the trenches for a long time, and they haven't touched, or they know that their business model works, and they always have built their business through referrals or word of mouth and whatever. Those are very strong, and I would say that some of the companies that are that lengthy in time and that are good in numbers are the ones that are having a great product. They don't need to advertise. If they advertise, they will explode, which sometimes they resist to. But I will just leave it as, what would you say in terms of recommendations, like and it's not fear mongering, but what happens if the competitor starts doing it and what have you? So what would you say for them to visualize what's coming?
Luis, like, let's just get right to it. I'm not even going to pull punches. If you don't embrace AI for your go-to-market strategy, if you don't embrace it for your advertising strategy, your competitors will blow you away. Literally drop a nuclear bomb on top of your business. That said, if you've been doing business for a long time, and I'm going to use an example of a group that I might be working with very shortly. We're just finalizing some details. But if you've been in traditional business and you are one of the best, or you're the worst, and you know who your best salespeople are, you know the languages they use, you can see the emails they use, you can take that and put it into an AI SDR. In fact, I don't mean to purposely plug an AI SDR, but there's a company called AI SDR out there, or SDR AI, I can't remember, but I've talked to so many of them. In fact, one of my portfolio companies, we do investor outreach on behalf of founders. We also do outreach to high net worth individuals for financial advisors. That's Get Compound with a K, Get Compound. We outreach to financial advisors to get them as clients, so that we can automate, using AI and automations, their outreach to get high net worth individuals to manage their portfolios for. And in fact, here's one that's super traditional. If financial advisors wasn't traditional enough, working with a traditional men's health clinic organization, we are creating complete AI scripting automation. We obviously script everything up front as humans, and we take the best of the best. And then we use AI to make it better. And then we automate entire campaigns for lead generation to book appointments, actual people that walk in the doors in their cities. And that's probably the best way that I can say it right now. Is currently you're spending money on advertising and billboards and magazines, and those things are starting to go away. And if you don't advertise strongly on the internet, you're not going to do as well. And if you don't use AI, you're not going to optimize and enhance your campaigns. And if you don't use the automation after that ad triggers the person to click on the button, then you're missing sales opportunities. You're missing and leaving revenue out the door, not even at your door. So I believe strongly in AI for all the right reasons, to get more humans to engage with other humans, to finish whatever it is they need to do. Close a deal, shake a hand, buy you a coffee, whatever it is.
Bingo. You couldn't have said it better. One thing that we have in our arsenal, just so that adding into what you're saying, we have the what you call a sales call analyzer, in which, let's say you have 20 reps and you want to know, okay, John, he's doing amazing, he's doing great, whatever, and then Jason, he's just a newbie, he's not doing as great, he needs training. So we have a system in which we put John and Jason or Christian, whatever, and then we have KPIs. There's like 6 or 7 KPIs at the end of the transcript. So transcript is the output, the input, and then the KPIs are the transcript, and the middle is the AI. And let's say I want our company is style Jordan Belfort. Okay, so we'll do hard closing and stuff like the AI would analyze your script, analyze your interaction with a client, and then it will give you KPIs based on that. Grant Cardone, whatever model you want, like that's the middle layer, and then it gives you the KPIs. And the nice thing about it is with those KPIs, you can build further KPIs for upper management, in which you as a sales manager would be able to have weekly reports in which you know, okay, so what is Jason doing? What is Jonathan doing? What is Pedro? Whatever, and then you can take action into, like, imagine it's like having a sales coach in steroids, working 24/7, and also giving feedback after every single call to other newbies, so that they can get better without having all these crazy trainings and wasting time, weeks of in and out. So
I agree.
That's what you described. That's happening, and we will be able to pull that off and not only make it input output, but constant while on the call. We're building one that during the call, it tells the rep what should be next based on the interactions that they're having with the
I
client.
recently did one that I've modified. I usually do I record and transcribe all my meetings I run through several different tools, to be honest, but testing Radiant right now. Radiant AI is an extension of Supernormal. Supernormal, I've got it quite cooked up to the way that I want it. It gives me my action items when I'm done. What's really nice is I don't know if I trained it or if I actually told it to do this, but when I said, I'll send you my non-compete, non-circumvent, non-disclosure agreement, it preps the email. So when I say, after this meeting, I will email you my mutual NCNDNA, that's already going to be prepped and ready. And there's an email that says, would you like to send the email? And I can just hit yes. Or when I say, hey, I got to send you some due diligence documents, it preps that email up to remind me to press the button, and I can just hit it for save for later or schedule send, things of that nature. Because I don't want to send like 5 emails all right after the meeting. You know, the thank you email is one, but I can schedule those ones now because I just say, hey, send on such and such a date. So now it looks like I've got a nice follow-up process. And it's all pretty much automated. And that's just coming from transcribing a meeting like this.
And super quick. I don't think everything that we discussed today, I don't think we would have had this type of technology or this type of leverage a year ago, even.
No.
Like, it's insane. So I hope when we shared all these things during this call, especially Pat, I hope that you take action. So to the viewers of this episode, take action. Try to a new tool, automation. What's taking you time? Try like something that is very very repetitive. Try to solve it somehow with automation, and everything is available. If you ask ChatGPT, hey, I have this thing, how do I automate it? It will tell you how to automate it, how to build an interface, or how to build something for your consumption to be able to free your time more.
And I'll give you an example of one that I'm personally working on myself. So I get a lot of deal flow coming in, and I want to automate that. So I want to structure and automate it, as I said to you earlier. But one in particular is one of my funding sources, a financial development partner, came and said, hey, we're doing this project down in the States with one of your clients. We're going to fund $325 million on this project for that gentleman. Okay, great. And then he says, do you have anybody in Africa? I want to do more projects in Africa. And I said, well, that's interesting. I actually just finished, I do jerseys. I like to ride bikes, so I got cycling jerseys for a charity ride that I'm helping support to build a hospital. And he says, I'm specifically looking for hospitals, infrastructure, agriculture, solar, and hydropower. Do you know anyone in Africa? And I was like, I do, but I haven't discovered if they have those needs. So what I did is I went into GPT and I had a long, lengthy conversation telling it what I needed to find out and how fast to find it out. And then I wanted to write a post, and I said, do it in the Matt Lakiev style. Matt Lakiev is somebody who I like and follow, great messaging content on LinkedIn. And it does that, but I also tell it with a little style or a little flair, like Ryan Reynolds, not quite Deadpool, because that's me. I'm a quirky type business person. I like to have fun, but I like to get stuff done. And it puts out a long post. It says, would you like a shorter one for Twitter? Would you like one that you can email? Would you like one that you can text? Because I've created this sort of structured prompt. The answer is yes. And then I literally copy and paste them and put some human tweaks into them, because there's always just my style. And then I created the opportunity overview using GPT, and it found some things that I know, but I didn't write them in. I didn't say them clearly. So it picked up on those nuances and said, what about this, this, and that? Oh yeah, you got to add that in number 1, 2, and 3. And I filled in the blanks and created an incredible output. I was able to put that message out, looking for African founders, looking for anyone that's in Africa who owns land and has a vision of a project like 100 megawatt solar plant. Like, that's massive, by the way, that's a lot. And said, we have a fully funded development partner ready to work with you. Anyone interested, contact me. And that response has had me so busy for 2 weeks now, I don't have time for almost anything else. And I didn't know I had that much of a network connected to founders and property and landowners in Africa. I knew a bunch, but not with opportunity.
That's insane.
And by the way, that all goes through my intake order form now. So which was also created with AI and Bolt.
Oh man, I think we could be here for hours. I honestly
think we would have a lot of fun if we keep going.
But I want to thank you, Pat, and to the audience that are watching us, just to make sure to follow Pat, to see what all the things that he's doing, and probably if you don't mind, if we, let's say, talk again in like a quarter and we revisit all the things that we said and all the things that are upcoming in the future. Who knows what's going to happen with AI? Any final thoughts, Pat?
I think it'd be great. Luis, I'll say this is that anyone that wants to find me, best place is probably LinkedIn, McGuire P, as in McGuire Patrick, McGuire P on LinkedIn. Hit me up and DM me if you want to talk about some go-to-market strategies or AI-enhanced go-to-market strategies. Happy to help you. Or AI-enhanced fundraising. Happy to help you for sure. If you just want to poke my brain, ask for some ideas or validate your idea. I see hundreds and hundreds of startup pitch decks every single month. I'm very happy to spend a few moments with you. Absolutely no charge, no hooks, no strings attached. DM me on LinkedIn, McGuire P, and I will do that. And, if you're interested, I'd be interested in using one of my chat prompts to give you an optimized LinkedIn profile. I've been working on it for about a year and turns out pretty good numbers for people.
Beautiful. You are gold. You're a good person. Love it. And yes, so we'll be in touch. Thank you very much, Pat, for your contributions today.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Luis.